I had in mind to go over this book for a little while now, and this guy, Ken Adam, was one of the production designers on some of the James Bond films back in the old days. And I wanted this because I wanted to see what what does production design entail in a film like a James Bond movie. So let's take a look inside. It's a pretty good sized book, as you can see. These are little concept thumbnail sketches, I would say, for some part of one of the movies. And here's a big concept drawing for probably the bad guy's lair. That's the man himself. So let's get on with this. This is prop drawing, the Queen of Spades movie. It says it was designed by Oliver Messel, very well known at the time for his work in the theater, and was shot at Wellman Studios in '48. The project was a major one for a recent recruit into the industry and was Ken Adams' first costume film. So this is one of Ken's drawings, and this is another film. Old Gregory Peck movie with Virginia Mayo called Hornblower, Captain Horatio Hornblower. So all these films have to be designed. Somebody has to come up with drawings to make these films a reality. The departments have to know what they need to build, what kind of costumes they're going to be getting for all the people. There's a demon for something called Night of the Demon. Old movie. And when you do this type of work, it can be a fascinating job coming up with concepts for these movies. Bridge on the River Kwai, classic film directed by David Lean. Trials of Oscar Wilde. And you come up with these drawings that have to be in proportion to what the camera is going to be seeing, and it shows what kind of interiors the guys have to build. Now, this guy is doing these concept sketches. The next department has to actually draw these up as architectural rendering sketches, architectural drawings, so that the guys can build. And that means that they're putting measurements on everything, put drawings to scale, and then the guys are actually going out buying material to build all these sets. It's a fascinating job to me that you get to do these little drawings and show them to the director and say, well, this is what I have in mind, and the guy can say, well, can you go in this direction instead? A film called Sodom and Gomorrah from '62. And it looks like he worked on Dr. Strangelove. Classic Stanley Kubrick film. There's Kubrick talking to Peter Sellers. It's one of the great movies. You guys should see it. So he had to come up with the drawings for... This is the war room where all the generals and big politicos meet, deciding what are we going to do about these planes of ours that are going off to bomb Russia. Different concepts for the bombs, I guess. He worked with Kubrick on Barry Lyndon. And here's a drawing he had to do to show, laying out where all this stuff is happening in the film. showing camera setups and what kind of backgrounds there should be. Then he gets called in to work on James Bond. And so here he is doing drawings for the first Bond film, Dr. No. One of the great James Bond movies, the first one in the series. Dr. No's guest bedroom is, all of this has to be planned out, drawn out. And then he moved on to Goldfinger. This is supposed to be the interior Fort Knox, where all the gold of the U.S. owns is in Fort Knox. There's the fight with Odd Job and James Bond. So all of your knowledge has to go into your research, has to go into doing films like this. So a really great book. He designed Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, Diamonds Are Forever. Here's a great drawing here, the Las Vegas Hotel Suite. All this is probably drawn on small paper thumbnails, and then he enlarges it. It's The Spy Who Loved Me. Great concept drawings here. Wonderful artwork here. He worked on Moonraker. Worked on GoldenEye. So he had quite a long career. Oh, here's one. I didn't know he worked on this. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Old movie. Written by Ian Fleming. And this is about a car that could fly. Ian Fleming created James Bond, but he also created Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Goodbye, Mr. Chips. Look at these great drawings. All these different ideas have to be put down on paper. Visual development, concept drawings, sleuth. So anyway, I just wanted to quickly go through some of the concept drawings that he has done over his long career. The Last Emperor, that was a great film. Great setup shot there. Wow, look at that. Here's a guy bleeding the little emperor out. So highly recommended if you can find books about production design, if you like doing that type of thing, where you are doing drawings to show the overall picture of what you have in mind for a project. When you're doing your project, you should do some kind of production design on it, saying, well, this is where the characters exist. This is where things are happening in this picture that I'm writing and directing. So look up production designer online and see what it entails. It's a fascinating job. Art director, production designer. And a really great book that I got some years ago now. I think I ordered this from Amazon. This book is so hip it doesn't even have a copyright on it. But somebody wrote this in '08, so it's at least from back then. I don't know if it's still available or not, but there are other books about production design that you can look up and find on Amazon. Or go to your bookstore and check out the film cinema section and see what kind of books they have there on production design. And you can use that in doing your animation. So until next time, keep drawing and keep having fun.